compared to before, it was like I was always just irritated about something. I wanted to be bothered, like plotting on how I can quit, when I'm gonna quit my job. But now it's like, good morning,
hello,
have a good one. Like it's just so light.
That's trusting him. That's really like, God, you know what? No matter what, I trust you in my life. I know that you have a purpose and a plan for me. So even though it's not exactly what I want, I'm going to thank God for this job. I'm going to thank God for this situation. Welcome back to another episode of the Blossom and Effect podcast. Today, guys, we do have a special guest here.
Ayana Marie.
And I am so excited to have her. She is someone who, look, I've grown to know really, like, I feel like more recently. But we've always known each other, but we have encountered each other more. And typically, we always have great conversations. So I did ask her to come onto the podcast today. Do you want to tell us, like, a little bit about yourself?
That's a... I always get like stuck when people tell me that because it's like...
Okay, so wait, let me help you out. So she does model.
Yes.
She does content.
Yes.
Very funny on TikTok. If y'all don't know her TikTok, if you don't know her on TikTok, I'm gonna have all your social media too down in the description box. She dances, y'all. She's in the We Are the Drum.
Yes.
She performs Beyonce, and she does an amazing job. Yeah, so like elaborate on like that. Like how did We About the Drum? Wait, did I say that wrong?
We the Drum. How did We Are the Drum come about?
Yes, how did We Are the Drum come about? And like modeling, how did you get into that? Yeah, so just like elaborate a little bit.
Okay, so modeling. Well, no, I'm gonna start with We Are the Drum because that was kind of like first. So I actually started that when I was 11 or 12. Green Bay Avenue, the elementary school, we took a field trip to see it, but one of my friends, her cousin was actually in the show. And so I went with her and her mom to like the public shows. And like the year after that, well, they started rehearsals that same year, and I went, and I was been stuck ever since. Yes. And then when I went to high school, I took some time off. And then came back home from college and started back in 2018, and I've been with them ever since. So,
Okay, so this recent time, sorry, because look, this is where I become like a little interviewer. But this recent time, they don't know this, but this recent time when you came back, remember when you moved, and then you came back?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the move. Like, how did you feel when you moved?
As far as We Are the Drum, I was so sad because, well, everything worked out because I obviously came back in enough time to do the show. Back. But I was going to be so sad that I was not going to be like a part of it. I was feeling like I would miss something, like be missing out on something because I just love it so much. And that's like a big part of me, like my life. Actually, finding out recently that Malcolm X was my cousin.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Surprised me. Yes.
That's huge.
Told me. Yeah. So it's like now I actually have, well, I already had a reason because like my grandmother actually went through some of that stuff, like the racism and stuff. So doing it for her, but now like there's a bigger purpose.
No, facts.
So it's like, okay, now I really got to do this.
So what was your reaction when you found that out?
I was so surprised because, well, I already knew that I have a cousin on my dad's side who married Muhammad Ali. And so my aunt was like, "Oh, well, you related to two Muslims or something." And the only other Muslim I knew was Malcolm X. So I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" And she was like, "No," she said his real name. I forgot his real name, but don't judge me. But yeah, and I was like, really? I didn't know that because she's really like heavy in knowing her history and like her ancestry and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's giving go to ancestry, just find out who you're related to because
I really want
like
to.
You never know. And somebody was just talking about this with me the other day because like we never really know like exactly who we're related to.
Right.
And then like sometimes people don't tell you and like then you gotta go find it for yourself. Yeah. But now that's most definitely gonna go find it for yourself.
I definitely want to.
No, seriously.
I am looking into it.
Oh
for
wow,
sure.
that just blew me. Hold on, that's no like especially powerful people like that that made like a great impact on like the community alone is everything.
Yeah, but I'm not violent though.
I know
he was, but
that's that eye for eye stuff. Yeah, you know, like the Muslims they go for that eye for eye. Yeah, like that's why a lot of dudes in jail. You know, that's why a lot of dudes in jail don't claim Jesus because you know that's the peaceful way. they go Muslim because that's eye for eye, so they don't look like no punk.
That makes so much sense. I was wondering, like, I had noticed that.
Everybody in jail Muslim.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Or in prison is Muslim. And that's
even people outside, like, they convert once they go in.
Mm-hmm.
That makes so much sense.
Because being Christian is, I have to turn the other cheek.
Yes.
Right? Because, too, you got to be a man of your word.
Mm-hmm.
So, they go eye for eye with Muslim.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, but no, that just caught me. That's something. Yeah. Okay, so wait. So, with modeling, like, how did you come into modeling?
Well, I honestly, even with that, like, I actually found some pictures of me when I was, like, a toddler, posing, like, look at me.
Yes.
And I was like, girl, I've been that girl. And so I remember one time my godmom, she actually used to sing with the Genesis Singers, Journeys Farsi. Rest in peace to her. She worked at, like, a nursing home, I think, or a group home or something. And they were having, like, a fashion show. And she asked me, she asked my mom if I wanted to do it, because I was a little sometimey back then. If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have been sometimey. But my mom asked me if I wanted to do it, and I did, and it was fun. I think after that, I kind of wanted to take it a little more serious, but we didn't have resources or anything. I want to say, like, in middle school, my brother Carter, who sings with the Doc Smith and the Disciples, we used to dress up in his mom's clothes and take pictures on his little phone and wipe the makeup off before my mama came and got me. And that's how it, like, really started. But then, like, once I got, I want to say 19 or 20.
I'm sorry, I just wrote, that's when I first met you.
Yeah.
Remember, like, we knew each other, but when we did that one photo shoot, remember with that red truck?
Yes.
That's when I started modeling, literally, around, that's crazy.
Yes.
We both started back at, but that's when I started too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did my first fashion show with Rochelle Evans. And after that, it was just like,
on from there.
Yeah, it was on
it's
from
been
there.
consistent.
Yeah.
Facts. And go to her, Instagram. Do you even be on Instagram?
Not like I used to.
Okay, it's really Facebook for her, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like, great pictures. And too, I just saw you modeled again with that. Who was that? What brand was that?
Classic.
Yeah. Yes. And you know your thing with them too.
Yes.
Tell them they can go.
Yes.
Do some more plus size.
Please. I got you.
No, seriously.
I got you.
Because what in the world?
Yes. I got you.
Like, dang. It's just straight. But, like, no, I do be seeing you. And it's amazing. And that's what's up, though. But, no, that's literally when I remember meeting you was 2019.
Yes.
And yeah, we was all on that. It was like plenty different people. And so I think I almost keep in contact with almost everybody. But yeah. Like Ebony.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That was fun.
That was
crazy, but it was fun.
No, it was. It was something different. This is the thing about it with me with Milwaukee, with the modeling industry. I need more diversity.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, it's not that much diversity. And that's why I think I kind of, like, backed out on my end of it. It was just not that diverse.
Yeah.
It's giving, and I know it's mean girl everywhere, but it was just giving, like, I don't get paid for this.
Does,
you feel me?
yes.
Like, I don't get no bag for this. I'm just doing this because
I love
trying
to do it.
trying to get out there more, but it's giving, like, branch out and just literally go somewhere else and you can just try to sell yourself. You feel me? Like, at least I don't know them, but, like, it be us against us. And
that's the crazy part about it. Like, and I know people who really, like, feel like, what is she doing here? Like, and it's just like, for what? We all here for the same thing. We all doing the same thing with the same goals. So.
Fact. And I think because I'm just naturally bubbly, so people be like, okay. I wonder if people don't know if it's, like, genuine or not. Or you know what I'm saying? Or, like, if they feel like, because I don't think people used to, like, people being as nice anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But I remember, like, that day, like, when I did come in, like, most everybody was cool, but it was kind of like people just so guarded and like, and I just feel like, and going back to when you had said you was sometime, I feel like that's people like at our age now, then we hinder ourselves from so many different things because we just so sometimes or we just don't know if we want to like trust people enough to get to where we need to go. So it's like, but so I did have another thing I wanted to ask you. So I know recently you've been really in your word and getting your like relationship back with Christ. I know you got saved and you got baptized. Congratulations on that. So how did you come about with that like shift change of wanting to like give your life back to God?
Girl, I had a dream. Them dreams be, listen, it scared me straight. No, but basically the dream was like God sent my mom a text message saying he was on his way to get his children. And in the dream, she was like, you better repent, you better repent. And it shook me so bad, I literally woke up out of my dream and started praying instantly. And after that, it was like, I couldn't sleep. I was like, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. My granny was like, girl, you making yourself sick, you stressing, like you need to eat something. And it was just like, I can't, like I was so paranoid. I didn't want to be by myself and quiet because like in the back of my mind I'm like, all right, the trumpets, they finna come. I can't sit still. It was like so, like I was so paranoid. I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but it was a lot going, like my peace was not peacing at all. And so I just started, I don't know, one day it was just like I just started praying like 3 times a day, back to back every day. And like I just like had this fire, like just wanted to read, wanted to, you know, didn't touch my phone until I was like read and prayed. And now it's like, okay, now I'm good to go. Right. And I don't know, it was just like a change literally overnight. And some people probably don't believe that, but that's literally like what it was. It was just like, and that's crazy because I was really at a point to where it was like, I feel so deep in my sin right now that I don't even think it's no way for me to
come back.
Yeah. But then it was just like, I came so far in such a short amount of time. And it's like, I can't believe I was, that is crazy. Yes. Even thinking like, that's so crazy how he kept me doing all of that. Yes. Like, it's crazy. Like my mind was so blown, and then it was just like I had been thinking about getting baptized before. Well, again before, but I wanted to be in a right position, like not still willingly sinning and then going back. You know, so it was like, and he did that. Yeah. He knew that was a desire for me, and he changed me, and I was like, okay, now I feel really ready to do it, and so I did it, and I feel so good. I
know. So I know they don't know, so that's why like I'm going back to like our third time. But I know when you first started, I feel like that's when we was always talking like prior, even before, but I feel like that's kind of when we started to connect more. Yeah. I feel like and I think too, like when you came. Well, you know what I'm talking about when I came, but when you came and then we would start talking about the word. Yeah. And I remember I was like, okay, I could tell like it was a shift. And I remember you talking about the dream, but I didn't know like you was telling me, like I remember you telling me like you was kind of shook up. But you ain't tell me you wasn't eating that. Let me tell you something, because he will taunt you so bad to the point where you don't read, but then you said one day like you was just like, let me start reading. And like I feel like this, like one thing I can say personally too, like when you get in the word and it convicts you, that's a good thing. I think sometimes people be afraid of conviction, or they feel like it's no coming back. But like this is the thing about it, if God warns you, if it's even in a dream or like whatever it is, like that's a good thing to have, because that means he still cares. He ain't turned his back on you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still giving you a chance and an opportunity to make it right. And a lot of people don't get to come back from that. Like, and I remember I was just talking to somebody yesterday. I had said like, I remember like when I wasn't even doing what I was supposed to be doing, how like literally I could have like died in that, like losing my dad. And I know you lost your dad too, like that. We're gonna talk about that too, but like it's like people don't understand sometimes the torment that you can sit in if you just don't get in the word. Like people be going through it mentally, physically, emotionally, and like they're not understanding, like if you literally just give yourself over to God, it's like it's such a peaceful feeling. Because I can say even now, like when I come up against stuff, like it doesn't feel good, but it's not chaotic. You feel like it's like so peaceful still. Because like I still have, like I know I have God, like and I think like one thing I can say too, like when you do come on this side, it's one of the loneliest seasons too, because people fall off, things shift, things change, or the enemy use people to attack you that's closest to you, and you sitting here like, okay, you can't say nothing. You know, like I think like when people do come over, they try to make it like it's like a bed of roses. Like it's not all the time. Like you go through some stuff. Like and you endure a lot, but it's like that's God's way of testing your faith, putting you back in the oven, because you know too when you backslide, what they say like 70 times, you get a whole lot more demons. I know that much. Like so when you do go back, you add no more demons. So when you do try to come back to Christ, you gotta like that's Bible. I'm gonna find the scripture. No, for real, because like people don't be knowing, like, it's so dangerous to go back. And that's why people say you might not make it back.
Yeah.
Because some of them demons, that could be suicide. That could be, you know what I'm saying, drug it. Like, you don't know what that could be. And then when we entangle ourselves with people, and that's why it's just so good of, like, the company you keep. So I even feel like when we started, like, talking, I feel like that was even a sign of God, too. Because even when you text me about the Bible, anybody text me about the word, I'm going to sit up, hold on, let me get my Bible, let me flip through these, no, for real, because that could be that chance to win them back. You know what I'm saying? That could be that chance for them to feel like they can breathe again. I feel like people are suffocating. Yeah. And I remember feeling like that, and like the torment that the enemy would try to put you through is like beyond, like, he trying to kill you for real. Like, this ain't a game. Like, people be out here like, I need to go back to church. I need to, like, I be telling you, need to go in the church. Stop talking about it on Facebook. Go to the church. Yeah. Like, go to the source. And I just feel like that's just powerful, because to know, like, where you come from and then where you are now. Yeah. Like, you're a different person now. Like, and I remember, even you don't know him before, like, you've never been like a mean girl. Like, you know, I remember telling you, like, you was always like quiet and like I could tell like you was guarded. Yeah. Like, now I feel like you're more open. Like, I see you being more vocal, like talking to more people. So I be looking like, okay, I'm proud of her, because because you know, like, knowing you then and like now, it's like you see the growth, and that's and like that's the point of it. I think, and people don't give themselves like enough credit, even when you do grow in Christ, and you can tell it's God. Yeah. Like, it's a thing of like, I'm really connected to Christ now, and I'm learning how to talk. I'm learning how to communicate. I'm learning how to love. Yes. Like, ooh, heavy on that. Yes. Because like, and loving is loving your enemies, loving the ones who talk about you, who wronged you. And remember, we talked about that, and I'm not going to go in that detail. Yeah. We talked about, no, for real. But I'm proud of you, because it's not always the greatest feeling. Yeah. But it's easy with God. Like, God told me to go and apologize to people, right? Yeah. And at first, I was kind of like, dang. Like, even though I felt ways in situations, I still had to be obedient. Yeah. And I didn't argue with him at all. I instantly did it, actually. Okay. And most of the time, I feel like I'm more of a person, I like to talk face to face. I do not like talking through text. I don't know why. I just feel like you can't understand somebody correctly. Yeah. You take stuff wrong. You be thinking they got an attitude, they just emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to talk face to face. But I remember when he told me that, and I was like, okay, God. So I did it. And when I tell you, like, I just felt freed. Like, you just feel like this relief factor. And I was in the Word. I'm in the Word. So when he tells me to do something and I feel convicted, I'm doing it. Because if I don't, then I'm going to get whooped. And who got time to keep getting... Nobody wants I remember before I just said... I'm telling you, I remember when I said, God, okay, I'm done. I promise you. You got to worry about me going back no more. You got to worry about me caring more about myself than... You get what I'm saying? Like, than the ones who you place in my life. I got whooped so bad. Never again. I said, I'm okay. Yeah. Like, for real. Like, no, seriously. Because that hurts. And it's like, those whoopings, like, you just keep coming. Like, stuff just keep, you just, like, oh. Yeah. Like, my God. Like, no, for real. You, like, that's worse than anything that the enemy can try to throw at you. Yeah. Seriously. And people be fearing the enemy more than they fear God. And that's a whole nother topic. Like, you scared to give your life to Christ because of what? Right. I'm sorry, because he can't do nothing that God won't allow anyway. Right. So if God's allowing it, that's a test, right? Because the enemy know our weak points. Yeah. And that's where people got to understand too. So, like, even when you was telling me about, like, the stuff that was coming your way, even about, like, with certain people, that the enemy know your weak points. He know people talking crazy to you, you be like, yeah. Hold on. No, for real. Because I be like, okay, Lord, help me. Now, I'm doing better with the words. Yeah. I'm not delivering in this other area. Like this hidden thing. Like, I know in the Bible say turn on the cheek. I know it do. Yeah. That's just somewhere, I'm just being honest. I'm just using me for an example. Like, that's somewhere I need to work on. Like, I'm just being honest. Definitely. I'm not an aggressor. So, I'm never in situations like that, but I can just only imagine, like, oh my God. Yeah. And it be small stuff. Like, even at work, if somebody hand me, like, if my hand is out. Oh, yeah, if you told me that. On the counter, I put my hand like this, and then I be like, all right, and I get them their change, and I sit it back on the counter, have a good one. And I be trying not to do that. So, but it's like. And if you feel convicted like that, don't do it. Just be like, you know, I think we gotta get to a place too. And this is what I tell myself. You gotta teach people how to treat you. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta, like, teach people, like, common sense. They don't know. No, for real. Like, people lack manners. Yeah. Like, people, like I be looking like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It's not common. Like, you see my hands, so you just gonna hit me with the door? Right. So you know what I do now? I just turn around and I hold the door for them. Even though, like, because God just be convicting me, because that eye for an eye thing It's real.
It is so real.
It's real. We be wanting revenge.
Yes.
Like.
Yes. And that's where, I'm working. Well, I came a long way, but anger used to be so, like, real for me. And I actually understand how people really be, like, I don't want to use the word crash out, but that's what it is. Like, I actually understand it because I was somebody who dealt with anger, acted out of emotion. And I just be like, I'm so glad that, like, I can actually think about stuff and really, like, take the time to reflect, which is why you say, like, you're not a texter, but I am, because I need time to think about what I'm going to say. Yes, because if we, like, having a discussion in person, it's like, okay, dang, I should have said that when I was there. Now it's 3 months later, and now I still got to say, it's like, I need time.
So wait, so what's the thing that you be thinking about that you be wanting to say? Is it like a thing of, like, that, a point factor, or, like, what do you...
A point, but also, like, if somebody tell me, oh, this, you did this to me, this, whatever, and they'd be like, okay, but, and I'd be like, okay, well, I apologize or whatever, but then I think about it sometime later, and I'd be like, oh, wait, she thought that that's what this was, but that's not what that was, and now I feel bad because that's what she thought it was, but I should have told her that that's not what it was. It's like, it just sit with me, and it'd be like, dang, I should have said
So
that.
You struggle with letting go.
Yes.
I'll give you my pointers on this, okay? And this is where I feel like I'm finally coming out of. One thing I can say this, like, when people come to you with stuff, and I know some people might be looking at the phone, I mean, whatever y'all watching me on TV, camera, they might be like, girl, bye. But I feel like, no, for real, apologize and get that up off of you. For one, because, right, it's not about them, but it's about, they got a soul.
Right.
And we don't want people falling by the wayside because of us, even if it wasn't intentional. But I really believe that apologizing factor and sending no more, even like towards them, is key. Now, I can't say like maybe they're just a person who's easily offended, right? I feel like just being mindful and starting off the conversation with like, I'm not trying to offend you, but you're going to like learning the person you encounter is like everything. Yeah. And I say no texting, and this is just me. Only because you texting, like, so I had somebody text me, right? And it's like how they text, I don't like it. Yeah. But you know what I did when they texted me? I just apologized. Okay. Because for me to respond, it's like, no, for real. And this is where I'm getting at, like, with my life. I trust God so, and I was just talking about this yesterday. I trust God so much. I'm not gonna cry because I did my makeup. I trust God so much with, like, my heart now that, like, I know He's going to heal me in the areas where people are not understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the things of what it is people don't understand you. Yeah. And they don't understand, like, why you are or why you were the way that you were. And I'm just to a place where it don't even matter anymore. Like, I'm trying to please God. So if I have to sit here and apologize to you and I don't have time to pity me, you gonna, because that's really what we be trying to do too. Because, like, I know, for example, with me, like, when you use the word crash out, I feel like my emotional, like, spazzing out or doing what I was doing because I didn't feel understood and I didn't feel heard. Yeah. So it's like, you take on, oh, if don't nobody else care, I'm gonna care. That's the wrong spirit, though. That's a spirit of selfishness that we're picking up on and we're not understanding because of the hurt. And instead of realizing it's a hurt factor, we make it a selfish factor where we then stop lacking love and caring for others, not intentionally, because we can do it for strangers. Yeah. That's the thing. The strangers, that's nothing. Yeah. But it's like doing it for the ones that you encounter every day. And that's where I say no texting. Talk to them face to face. And it builds your character so much. You feel better. I promise you do. Yeah. Like, you'll feel, like, you'll walk away like, yeah. No, for real. Not because you checked nobody, but because you was obedient to God, and you know because of your obedience, you ain't gonna be beat for that, for one. Right. But two, like, that blood is off your hands. Yeah. And, like, it just shows, like, how much you trust God, like, even with your heart. And I feel like when a lot of people, we was talking about this in Sunday school, we don't trust God with our hearts enough because we don't do what He tells us to do. Yeah. And not even intentionally, right? I feel like we put God in the same box as man. Like, we do stuff because we feel like God ain't gonna hear me. God, he like one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like He can't change the situation around tomorrow. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I just feel like now, like where I am, it took time. First of all, like, let me just this was not know how yours, like, you turned over and you was like, yeah, I don't got, no, it was, because I was so me, like, God, what about this? What about they said this, they did that?
Yeah.
And it comes from childhood too, because you know you don't have a voice as a child. You grow up, people keep trying you.
Yeah.
Like, how much more can I take?
Yeah.
You know, and then you get to that place where we call it crash out, but no, that's just like a cry for help in reality. But people don't realize that, and that's why you got to thank God for who He is.
Yeah.
Because that's where grace and mercy come in, because He knows the root of it. You get what I'm saying? People see what you did. They don't see the roots.
Yeah.
And that's why you just got to thank God. And that's why I be like, now, like, God, I even trust you with my emotions. Yeah. Like, if I tell somebody that hurt my feelings and they can't apologize, you know what? It's okay. I still love you. No, seriously. Because
I'm trying. I gotta get there.
No, I just can't. And I think my reason of being there is because of like all of the stuff. How much I've like put my life on hold. I feel like in a way. You get what I'm saying? Like I stopped myself from a lot of blessings. I feel that could have been came because of the stuff I done did. So now I don't. Okay, it's okay. No, really. Like it's okay, because if you're not understanding, I'm gonna pray for you, right? And that's another way too of healing. I think people don't realize like sincere prayer is you taking any ill intent out of your heart to pray for that person. That's a sincere prayer. Yeah. That's a real blessing. So that's what I make myself do. Even the ones who wrong me, I pray for them. Yeah.
That's good. You said something of like when we're a child, we don't have a voice, whatever. And that's kind of like, you know, I used to be scared of saying the wrong thing because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get whooped. So that's why I was so like quiet to myself. And so I actually went through something my junior year in high school that kind of like, it didn't force me to sit quiet, but I just felt like I needed to like sit quiet. And because of that, I feel like because I didn't say anything, it was really one of those like, if you be quiet, I'm gonna fight for you. Like God really like fought for me, and I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to say anything. And from like that point forward, it was like I just started, like I just took that with me throughout my adulthood. So now it's like, okay, I'm gonna let you, okay, I'm gonna be quiet, I ain't gonna say nothing. But then once I feel like, no, I'm finna say something, it's like that, like it just be,
no, that's
so hard.
That's emotion.
It is.
That's our flesh.
And I always, like I'm working on that so hard to not act out of emotion. Yes. But it's like once I feel so passionate about something, or like, and then I don't know what the phrase for this is, but if I really feel like no, I want you to hear me. Like this is not like, no, don't feel like that. Do not take it like this because this is not how I'm saying it. And then that person is still like taking it like that. It's like, okay, now I'm finna get mad because I'm telling you doing this and it's not what this is.
That's not
like,
that.
Yeah.
It's so, I just talked about this yesterday with my big sister, and we have to stop caring about what others think. That's not our business. Like, okay, because no, why? Like, that's not our business. So, meaning like, what they do or what they feel or what they think, and especially when it's wrong, I can't make, and this is another thing, and this is what I'm realizing, and I just, like, I can't talk to unhealed people. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to heal. And then you unhealed. And I'm trying to stay on this path. And then I'm trying to tell you how I feel, and you making it, you feel me? Like, and then you saying how I feel, and you not even hearing me, and I'm telling you exactly how I feel. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, we're talking to people who never dealt with their own emotions, for real. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I can't say much to you, actually, because you're not going to hear me. Yeah. That's when I go pray for you. That's when I ask God to bless you in them areas where you hurt. So then when you talk to me, you're not putting that off on me. Yeah. And that's why I stopped talking as much. And I had to get to a place where I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like, this is like I say like within this past month. Because I was so trying to just prove like, no, I'm not that type of person. I'm not no bad person. I'm not, you gonna, like how people try to portray you to be, but that's not my business. Like, how somebody else feels about me, that's not my business. Now, as long as I pray I'm never misleading Christ. Right. But you know what I'm saying? You repent for what you've done in the past, and you move forward. Can't nobody hold you hostage nowhere. Yeah. Really, unless you allow them. Right. Yeah. If you shake the dust from your feet and go on about your business, but you wrote your wrong or righted your wrongs, if I'm saying it right, righted your wrongs with those individuals. You did your part. And I feel like people want to just hold us hostage. You can't hold me here.
Some people don't even have a reason.
No, they don't. They don't. I'm sorry. Like, we young. No, like, dang. Like, relax. Like, I'm just saying, like, was you not young before? Like, you on my heels. I'm over here, look, blossoming, trying to grow, sitting here talking on the couch, and you still got something to say. Like, relax. Like, no, for real. And people they don't want to see where you're coming to. They still stuck where you were. Yeah. And baby, I fought hard to get out of that. Listen. Like, I almost died in that. Like, for real. So, the fact that you choose trying to hold me there, I gotta let you go too. Yeah. But I'm gonna pray for you. Right. And that's just where you kind of gotta get to that place. So, even when you trying to tell them, like, no, that's not what I meant. If they not here. Yeah. Sometimes, first of all, I like, when I be talking too much, I be like, I don't have nothing else to say. Because, what else to say? Like, I have no words. Yeah. That's foolishness. Yeah. I'm sitting here, well, who am I proving myself to? Right. Like, come on. What am I doing? I'm right. Because, like, at some point, we have to grow from that. Like, we can't get to where we gotta get to where God wants us to be because we're stuck dwelling or we're trying to prove ourselves to man. Yeah. Prove yourself to God. Yeah. Obey him. When he tell you to move. If he tell you to apologize, that's why I say it's not hard when you in the word. You can't tell me. I'm doing it like as I speak. I corrected myself today to one of my family members and apologized because of something I watched about men being able to cry. Right? And I remember times that I would say, like, you being a crybaby or you being soft. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Reflecting what's put on me, basically, is what I'm doing, right? That's why when I say hurt people hurt, that's how I can identify hurt because I was once there. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know when somebody who's not healed is talking to me because of what you're trying to reflect on me. And that's habits I picked up. And I think, too, this is another thing. When we reflect what's been done to us, that's when you've lost yourself. Yeah. Because I'm reflecting you now. Right. Before I was a lover. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now I'm angry. Now love's supposed to be reciprocated. No, it's not. Yeah. I don't do anything and expect nothing in return. Promise you. If I turn around and bless somebody, I don't have to hear about it tomorrow or I low-key forget. Yeah. Like, no, seriously, that's how much I just show. Because love is not love is what you choose to do. Yeah. And it's a choice. God chooses to love us every single day. Yeah. You get what I'm... So it's like... And when you really get in the word about love, you don't do stuff to expect something back. Yeah. That ain't love. That's you trying to... Well, I did that. Yeah. Or you could... I don't need the accolades. I'm okay if God himself only knows, okay? Right. If I go bless somebody tomorrow and only God knows, I'm okay because he's pleased with what I did. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a reciprocation factor. So when you talking to people, and that's just like a little advice, like when you talking to people and you try to explain your point or you say how you feel and you notice they don't hear you, okay, God, I did what I could. Yeah. Like for real. God, I did what I could. Yeah. Because when they get defensive, that's not like a safety play. You know what I'm saying? That's more for you to almost go back. And instead of going back, be like, okay, love you, you know. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm not mad or upset. You know, reassure them something you want. But because they lack to give that to you, you give that to them. That's how you teach a person. Yeah. And then later on in life, when you flourish and you blossom and you know what I'm saying, you going through life, not because you want to leave them, but because you can't stay there, then they'll see. Then they'll maybe understand. Maybe. I can't promise. Because some people die how they are. Yeah. But, like, that's just when you want to grow. And we in our 20s. And we
almost out of them.
No, yeah. I'm going to be 25.
Oh, I'm almost out of them. 5 more years. Well, yeah. This year I'll be 26, so that means 4 more years till I'm 30, and I can't wait till I'm 30.
You can't wait?
I can't wait.
Okay, wait. Why can't you wait? Hold on.
Because I don't know. I've always felt like everything I'm going through now, like in my 20s, is like building me for my 30s. Like that's a whole new woman, like a whole new chapter. And because I've worked so hard to get to the point to where I am now, like growing, and I'm still growing. It's like I can't wait to see how I'm gonna be when I'm 30. Oh, like she is gonna be unstoppable. Like I cannot wait.
First of all, I did not know you were a year older than me. Let's talk about that. Yeah. You're a year older than me? Why did I think...
I honestly thought we was the same age.
No, I thought so too.
Yeah.
What? I'm literally thinking this whole time. So when you were 19, I was 18.
Now I feel a little... little.
Oh.
Not old, but it's just
old.
like, I just thought we was the same age, so now it's like.
No, it's okay. Because it's giving still the same age. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, it gives the same age. I'm just stuck because, or I thought you was younger than me for some reason too.
Really?
What?
Really?
Yes. I don't know why. Like, I even thought like I had you like by like a few months or something. Like, you got me by a year?
Wow.
Out of all the time we talked, we never said age.
Never. And that's crazy. I have a habit of doing that.
I never asked nobody that.
Yeah, me too. Like, I just automatically assume like
we the same.
Yeah.
A lot of people do tell me like I don't act my age. Like people like when I say I'm 24, they be like, oh, I thought you was older.
Yes. Yeah.
But dang. Wait a minute. Hold on. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
But at least look, this is how I look at it. At least we're doing the work now, so when we are in our 30s, we not like how, what we see. But I tell my mama all the time, her generation, I should be able to go to your generation for advice.
Yeah.
They trying to argue with me, okay? This is not toe for toe, ma'am. I'm asking you about something to help me in the future. You can't help me?
Yeah.
So you know who I go to? The mothers.
Yeah.
I can talk to some of them. The older ones.
Yeah.
The OGs.
Yeah.
Like, and my mama. But yeah, that's about no for real because this age ain't aging.
It's not.
They want to be our age.
Yeah, and I feel like some of that comes from a lot of like the older women. They were taking care of their siblings, and
Facts.
Yeah, so it's like they never got to actually be our age because they had to grow up fast. So that's the only thing I can.
No, and I agree, and I be telling. That's why I say a lot of like unhealed. Like we got a lot of unhealed people. Walking around because and not knowing like what triggers are or like now like when they do find out what it is, it's like they still don't deal with it and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that. Like honestly, and I know like healing takes time and like growing and developing, like that's every day. I know I'm never going to be, I'm always going to have to grow from something or anything of that sort, but I don't want to be like how I was in my. Absolutely not. Yeah. I refuse. Like, when I turn 25, I don't care what nobody say. I'm going to be a new woman. Okay?
Period.
25, and now turns 25, February 28th.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
like,
tomorrow.
No, for real. No, like, seriously, that is tomorrow. Like, and I need to go back to the gym. I need to get a few more pounds off before I get in this birthday outfit. Hold on. But, like, for real. So, I always said I wonder where I'm going to be at when I'm 25. Yeah. And honestly, I could be further. But
it's a process.
It is. And you learn. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like and when you in environments, you have to learn how to separate, still function and show love and kindness, but then still do what you got to do for your future self. And I think that's what make a real boss. When you can function, when people say, I got to move and relocate, I used to say all of that, but like now it's like, no, God got me here so I can know how to deal with what I'm dealing with. And then when it's time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no excuse for in the future. Yeah. Like, girl, you know what you worked out yourself out of? You know what you went through? Yeah. You endured. So, like, that's, Yeah. And we got it. True. Don't play with us. Like, well, I'm not playing. I'm not playing with nobody. I'm like 25, baby. That's halfway to 50. I got 25 more years.
Yes.
My God.
It go by so fast.
I
don't know, because I feel like I've been in my 20s forever. I'm not rushing
it,
but yes, I feel like I've been in my 20s forever.
Baby, I think I turned 18, it just flew.
It's like, I was 23 telling people I had just turned 22. But I was going to turn 24. And I'm like, until somebody asked me how old I was, and I had to really think. And I'm like, oh, okay, I thought I was 22.
Yeah, and then you like, old.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I feel that. Someday, like, I feel like January took a long time.
Yes.
I feel like that was the longest month of my life. Like, for real. January took a long time. I don't know why. It was just like, okay, dang, it's still January?
Right.
Like.
Yeah, and it was like with everything that was happening, it didn't help. It didn't, like, make it no better.
And I was really tired of talking to politics with people. Like, yes. I was over it. Yes. Especially about the tax bracket.
Listen.
I'm younger than you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You come on now. You gotta help the younger people. Like, come on, like, what is this? So, yeah, I feel like it was just a long, it was a trying time, actually.
Very, very. That was like
we survived, though.
Yes, I feel like now it's the new year. That was the free trial.
That was most definitely a free trial. I don't know what that was. Like, I don't know what, that was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. That was
my God.
That was a lot.
I don't want to go into that because them doing that on Martin Luther King Day, that, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it.
I didn't want to. I feel like what's done is done now.
Yeah.
So we just gonna pray through it.
Yeah.
And live, because that's all we got.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Okay, I did too. I wanted to ask you though about your dad.
Okay.
So I don't remember exactly when did he pass?
2022. 2022.
Oh,
3 years this year. Yeah.
My dad passed 2023.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
And because you texted me. Actually, I just remembered that. Wow. So how was that? And I already know how it was, but meaning like mentally, how was it?
So I'm actually at a better place to talk about it now. So I don't mind talking about it when I'm like asked about it. Even if I'm not asked about it, I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, look. Hello.
But it was very challenging. Like, because I was actually in preparation to have a conversation with him about like some of the issues that we had and try to get some answers for myself as to like my abandonment and like why I deal with certain things the way I deal with them and how I am in certain areas. And it was like the day before I went into my therapy session to prepare to have that conversation. Shout out to therapist Mikhail.
Yeah.
He passed.
Oh wow.
Well, we found out that he passed. I don't know to this day. Like, I don't want to know like how long he was sitting there or what happened. I just know it was like one day I woke up, I was fine. It was actually November 9th. I woke up, I was fine, but then I just got irritated out of nowhere. And it was just like, okay, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to take a nap. And I took a nap, and it was like I just randomly woke up. And my mom, she's like pacing in and out of my room. And one thing I hate is like, not to say I don't like being like woken up, because Lord.
Yes.
You got to be specific with the Lord.
No, for real. You ain't never lied. No, for real.
But like, if I'm taking a nap or I'm having some good sleep, I hate for somebody to come. Yeah, like, let me wake up. But and I'm like, okay, I'm up now. Like, what is it? And she like did not want to tell me because at this time she had just had surgery, so she really like didn't know how to move. Like, yeah, because she was like already doing stuff around the house. So, but she didn't want to like have somebody tell me without her telling me, because that's how I found out about my granddad who passed literally a year before my dad. Yeah, and so she told me, she sat me down. She was like, I need you to breathe. And instantly I thought about my dad. Like, okay, like what? I'm breathing what? So she was like, your dad is gone. And I'm like, gone where? What'd you talk about? Like, gone where? And then she like, yeah. And it was like,
just tell me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't even, like, I'll never forget that day. And it was just like, I need to call him. Because, like, what's going on? I need to call him and make sure they got somebody else, like, they think it's him, like, what's happening? Yeah, it was like, that one. Yeah, and it was
not
like,
the man I couldn't get answers from.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah. And my therapist, like, at that time, she made it easy to kind of, like, process a little bit. Because, like I said, like, we were actually preparing to have a conversation. So now she's preparing me to try to get these answers, not by myself, but, like, to kind of deal with, the process after that. And so it was very, like, I was angry for a long time. Like, I didn't want to model. I didn't want to dance. I didn't care about nothing. Because it was like, what am I doing this for? You know, like, what am I doing this for? And I did not see how I was going to bounce back from that at all. But I remember going to church that Sunday, and it was like a release, kind of, just for like a split second. But I felt better.
Yes.
And after that, it was just like, I don't know, dancing, because we started rehearsing for We Are the Drum around that time. So it was like I had that to kind of help me out. And really just like my siblings made it, you know, easy for me. Yeah. And so I don't know how I ain't gonna say I don't know how I got out of that, because I know God, of course, but it's just like I don't understand.
No, some days you look back like I know it was nothing, but actually, because like when you try to figure out how did I come, like, this is traumatic. And I think people really don't realize the power that God has.
Yeah.
Okay? Because even with how you said you went to church and you was like, for that split second, that was him putting some peace over you.
Yeah.
Like, that was him easing some of that hurt. Like, and I think this is the good thing, right? This is why God is so amazing, because he doesn't take the memory of what happened away. He lets us feel that, right? But he gives us where we can balance. And when I say balance, meaning he gives us him, and then he gives us a situation. So it's like no, it's not gone, but it's like a way of, okay, I can make it through this. Like, this, it's always a tomorrow, you know? And I think death is not easy, especially from a person you want answers from.
Right.
That, I know how you feel, because, and I don't be trying to talk like I am just so okay, but when I tell you, and God is just real, and I can say this from my perspective. When I lost my dad, I tried to get answers from him when he was alive. I realized he couldn't give it. So I had to become okay with what I couldn't get from him. And not because I wanted to right away, right? Like, let's be very clear. I was actually irritated because you're a grown man. And you can't talk. You gonna, like, come on now. Like, to your children here. You ain't talking to my mama. We talking to me. And I still can't get nothing. Oh, you don't got nothing to give me. Okay. So let me evaluate him, and then when I like just start asking questions like certain things and like learning my dad, I say he don't know how.
I think about that too. Like, maybe the conversation that we had, it would have went a total different opposite direction of where we were trying to go, or maybe he just didn't have the answers, or he wouldn't have been truthful. You know, like, so it's always, I still try to look at it like all things work together. But sometimes it's just like no, I need it to
like, I feel that. Because it's something we want, but God knows what we need. And if you needed that, it would have happened. But imagine having a conversation, it went left, then you passed. Oh, the trauma.
And it's crazy because I remember, so like me and my dad, we had like a up and down relationship. So we weren't always like, you know, but I actually remember writing in my journal like years ago, before, like on one of our off seasons. And my mom found that journal like after he passed, and she was like, read that. She's like, imagine if you would have felt like that when he passed. And I was like broken off of the thought of that. And I'm like, even though I'm thankful that that's not where we were, but it was like, I would have been
devastated. Yes. And that's why God knows exactly what we need. Even the conversation you had with him to set up the appointment for y'all to talk, or the get together for y'all to talk, that was needed. That was needed. Because it's letting you know, like, I'm going into this with an open heart and an open mind. Like, I can talk to my dad. So you always have that. Like, that's the good thing, because I know I had a dream. I think I told you
dream.
No, and I never ever want to ask for him to take it away. That's why I'd be like, okay, Lord. Like, you know how much I can handle now. That's about to spook me now. I'm gonna get up at 3 a.m. Like, where I'm finna go? Like, I'm ready to get up out of here now, okay? But I had a dream, and I was still staying with my mom, and my granny was in a casket, and she was like, they say I'm gonna check out of here November 20th. I would never forget this dream. And I know God put my granny in that casket for a reason, for me to take the dream seriously. Anybody else would have been like, what type of dream? Like, what did I eat? You know how we say, black people like, what you eat? Like, I don't remember, okay? That was last night. Shoot, I done went to bed. It's a new day. But basically, like, the dream that my granny just started, like, she gave up completely. So to fast forward, I talked to my dad June 30th, my granny's birthday. And he sounded exactly how my granny did in the dream. That's when God dropped in my spirit the dream was about him. And he was like, I'm just tired. I'm ready to give up. His voice was real slurred. I'm like, Dad, you got to put your trust in God, not man. I said, the doctor don't have the last say so. But I remember, you know how you can try to encourage somebody. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. When we allow God in, that's the comfort he needs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not God. I couldn't give him nothing else than what he allowed. And it's like, I didn't have any regrets when my dad passed. So I feel like when he passed, I was hurt though. Don't get me wrong. I was crying. What? Please. I kept crying actually. It was very annoying. Randomly, I'm sitting down, bust out in tears. Like, I'm not in the mood, okay? Like, for real, because it's like, it's like uncontrollable. Like, it's like you literally, a smell, a sound, anything can remind you of that person, you just bust out in tears. So I remember I was crying, and I'm just like, man, like, this is hard. because I've never lost a parent before. So when it did happen, though, it was like a thing of like, I did everything. I tried every single thing. And I still love my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told him, like, I remember telling him I love him. Like, come on, let's try to move past. But when a person can't let go, that's not on you. Yeah. And that even go back to what we just talked about earlier. Yeah. Like, that's on them. Yeah. Sometimes people die. Like they're dead even alive. Because they're in their sin. Yeah. You go like, and that's in Romans 6. Don't quote me. Go read it. The Bible tells us to be dead to sin, alive to Christ. So meaning you got to kill flesh every single day. Yeah. If you're not killing your flesh, you're dead. Yeah. But if you're choosing Christ, and that's meaning choosing to be alive, you have that hope. You have. And my dad stopped believing. And it that goes so deep, and I remember telling you a little bit because you know the backstory, all of that, but it goes to even who you marry. Yeah, I don't care what nobody say. Who's in your circle, because you have to have, even if you want to give up, you have to have somebody that want to fight for you. So the fact that even before your dad passed, you wanted to fight for that relationship, that even gave him some type of peace, because you don't hear about a lot of daughters today wanting to do anything with their dad. You know, like for real. Some daughters like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with him. Yeah. He wasn't in my life, forget him. Because people coming from a hurt place. Yeah. But because God was already preparing you, you didn't even know before. Right. He's already equipping you to get this relationship with him, basically. Yeah. Like you was being ready. You was being equipped. Stuff happening and it's hurting. But he's preparing you. He's pruning you. He's like getting you ready for this new space and this new place that he wants to put you in. And when we step back and realize like this is God's will, then that's how you know your faith is different, your walk is different. Baby, you sound different. You be like, you know what? Hold on. Okay, God, I know this is your will. This is for a purpose. Yeah. But it's not like a easy thing to just like, okay, like, yeah, and like your dad died. Right. But it's a way of understanding, like, okay, this is God's will. Yeah. And he's still good. I still thanked him, crying and all, because when you get to that place of he still has his hands on me, he's still in control, and there's nothing else I can do but trust him. Yeah. Because that's where he puts us sometimes to get our attention. Yeah. You go through some stuff because like, oh, okay, yeah, you're going to trust me. Yeah. Even if you don't want yeah. Oh, you don't have no choice. Losing a dad is not easy at all. Yeah. I don't know why I thought her dad died the same year. So it was 2022. My God. Yeah. Time, I think this time was just, it's fine. Because I feel like I remember seeing you post about your dad, like right before mine died. Literally. If I'm not mistaken. I remember, I think I texted you or something, or I commented on the post, and then I think like a few weeks later, mine died. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So that's why I thought like they passed the same year. Yeah. But they didn't, and that's Yeah, and that's crazy too, because like I heard somebody say that you don't go through stuff for yourself, you go through stuff for like other people, and that's just been sitting with me like ever since that, because after my dad passed, like we was going through the whole motion of like whether we was gonna have whether we were gonna be able to have a funeral for him or not. I found out that somebody I went to school with, her dad had passed away too, and her like the funeral was right before I was supposed to go out of town for so it was like, that's crazy. So like I'm trying to pour into her while still trying to pour into myself. But you're doing his will. Yeah. And he's taking care of you. Like that's a prime example. Yeah. Like when you do what God asks you to do, even in the storm. Yeah. Oh, that's trusting him like no other. Yeah. Because you sitting here encouraging somebody else and you battling your dad's like loss. Yeah. That's faith. Because a person with no faith, and that's why the Bible says faith the size of a mustard seed. Yeah. It only takes a little bit. Because even if that was your little bit of faith you had, you was able to give that. No, for you was able to get that to somebody. Oh, that's your all. Yeah. That's faith. And I think sometimes people got to sit back and look like, okay, at some point I'm trusting God. Really. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like every day you wake up, you get out the bed, you trying. Yeah. God wants a sincere heart. He wants a sincere prayer. He wants to hear from us, and when we can still give him that in the midst of that, that says everything that we need. So that's a prime example right there. Like you was trying. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like I'm really trying here. Like and he knows a pure heart. So when people be even out here like faking, don't worry about them either. God sees, God knows all. Yeah. He knows who's really trying to change. He knows who really desires to please him. Yeah. He know our thoughts tomorrow. So, like, and when we could just give him that just says everything, though. Like, he knew exactly what you needed. He was already preparing you. Yeah. He was preparing you. Yeah. You was at peace with the conversation. Yeah. Imagine not being at peace. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when we look back, it makes sense. To an extent, like you be like, okay, now we don't understand everything why he do it exactly why he does until later on, and that's the point.
Yeah, like now, like he used that situation to kind of push me further into my purpose. Like, so now I'm helping other people, like, you know, like even coaching dance at the school I graduated from. One of my girls, her father passed away too. So now I'm trying to pull her out of like whatever state she's in, because like I don't know. I haven't had like a conversation with her, but I can tell that she's kind of like guarded a little bit, because she probably don't even understand for real. You know, she in middle school. So it's like trying to, you know, trying to like help her out. But then one of the girls, one of the babies from We Are the Drum, her father passed away too, like a couple months ago maybe. And so now it's like, okay, I'm really not doing this for myself. Like, I'm really supposed to be helping other people. Yeah. And I'm so happy about that, because like I was praying, like,
I know that's right.
Please push me into my purpose around other people who are gonna push me, and he like literally did that. And I didn't realize it at first, because in my mind that meant something else. Like, put me around people who gonna make me famous. Kind of. That's what I'm thinking in my head, and like he just redirected my whole focus, and like I'm so grateful for that.
And he's still handling our dreams.
Yes.
Like I promise you, like I wanted to say two things. One, when you said about like when you were going through, like we are overcome by our testimony. Like we can help the next person overcome something by speaking out. Like, I lost my father. You know, somebody could be in the audience and they just lost their loved one. So like that is always purposeful. Like life is purposeful. When you look at things and when they happen, if you look at it as a thing of like, okay, this is going to be a great testimony for somebody else. Battling, trying to figure out life, okay? Surviving your, like whatever your testimony is, that's powerful. And then too, I was talking yesterday and I remember telling like, even about like my podcast and stuff, don't get me wrong, like, of course I pray I make it, but even if I don't, if it's 5 years later and I'm still sitting on this couch, or if I move up to a different area, like I'm okay as long as I'm being obedient. Like, I can't sleep. Like last week I almost didn't post. And when I tell you I was restless, I said, okay, God, I promise I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna do it. Let me go to sleep, please. Like I woke up, okay, I put on my brave face and I did what I had to do, because when we realize obedience and when we encounter people like young children who are going through hard things, that's a way for you right there to testify to them. Okay, that's a way you speaking life into them. That's something they needed. Maybe they would have went home and ended their life because they lost their dad. Some people can't shake back from losing parents. So I don't think like when we do encounter things, we gotta understand like this is something where you gotta be strong. Like, and not because you don't feel, but it's strength in your feeling. That's where people mess up, because they don't allow themselves to feel. And it's strength in that.
I tell people all the time, like, even if you argue and feel those feelings when you feel them, so that way you can feel them. If you keep that inside, it's like you
killing yourself slowly.
Yes.
And I feel like that's what my dad did. That's why I really feel like he held on to so much stuff that it just was killing him. Stress is the #1 killer. Like, it was eating him alive because he couldn't express. Baby, I'm gonna get that up off of me. Actually, yes, I do want to talk to you. No, for real. Like, when do you want to talk? Like, I can't wait for like certain people to ask me, like, you want to talk? Yes. You ready? Hello? Like, are you ready, ma'am? What? Like, if it's, and now God tell me, if you tell me be quiet, I'm be quiet. But I'm just saying, like, in certain times, like, yes. And that's why now it's just so important. Like, when you meet new people and you encounter friendships, like, have an open communication where you can talk to each other. Like, I don't want no friend who can't be real with me. And honestly, I don't want no friend right now who is doing the opposite of what I'm trying to do. And not because I'm not saying all my friends gonna be saved, but I do want a group that is trying to live the life I'm trying to live. Because you look at people in the world, they got friends that's doing what they doing. So when people be looking at me funny because I say I want friends that are trying to do what I'm doing, I'm not wrong for that, actually. Because I need somebody who can pray for me. Can you intercede? But I'm just saying, like, even when I look at stuff like that, like, it's powerful to surround yourself with the right ones. And it's like, even the ones though who God do bring that are not, love on them. Like, I encounter people all the time who are not even trying to live the life, or who don't believe. But I don't force it on them. I do invite them to church. Now, I do still do all of my great things that I do, but I just still be the light. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be the cause for nobody to fall.
Yeah.
Like, that alone, please. I don't want that on my hands, baby. If I want nothing on, I don't want that on my hands.
Yeah.
Because you stopped believing because of me.
Right. And I'm trying, it's actually funny because in college, I had like this group of friends and they knew that like I'm a church kid. Like they knew like, oh yeah, Yana, she got shot for sure. But I was misrepresenting Christ. And so now it's like fast forward to now, one of the girls that I went to college with, she actually is like on fire for the Lord.
Right.
Like
Come
yes,
on.
and I love that for
Yes.
her. And that actually is one of the things that inspired me to really,
come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. And I'm like, even just smiling now talking about it, it's just like
that's what's up.
Yeah, and I had like now that I actually realized and understood that I was misrepresented, like I was even repenting for that too. And so like you said, like praying that I don't continue to do that. So now like I'm in a different space and I'm around like a mixture of people. And so it's really important to me now that I stay true to that. And even the people who like I hang around, they understand like, oh, Yana, she be going to church. Like, oh, she don't go. Somebody just said this to me yesterday, actually at practice. They were like, oh, they don't like to go out. They go to church concerts. I'll be like, and
let me tell you something. Like when people be saying like little comments, baby, you ain't gonna make me feel bad because I love the Lord.
Right.
You just not.
At least you know, I know, and they actually respect me for that. You know, like they don't do anything that's gonna make me feel uncomfortable. And I actually had to talk to my granny about that because I was like, okay, like I don't know if I should be doing this because like not that I take part in what they take part in when I'm with them, but it's just like, but she had to tell me like the love of Christ that you have in you, like that can wean them in and bring them into Christ. So you know, like just keep doing what you're doing, be true to who you are. Just because you hang with them, you don't have to take part in what they do. And I'm like, okay, that made me feel a little better because now I do get to shed that light and like, you know, really allow them to see that God is like with me everywhere I go. And then I had somebody watch our church service and they like messaged me while they were watching and they was like, you can tell that like God is really in y'all because y'all are just so genuine, like pure people, and I just love that. And so it's like, okay, so that's they got a little bit. So now the next step is to invite them
and to invite them. Like this is one thing I'm gonna say: we don't have to convict anybody. God does that. Yeah. I don't want to convict you in your sin. You know what I'm saying? Now I have a heart of compassion for you. Yeah. Like if you lacking and you don't even know, you killing yourself slowly. Yeah. Because the Bible talks about some things you literally bring death on yourself. So if you do that, of course I'm gonna come to you with a heart of compassion for you because of the sin you're committing. Yeah. Especially if you don't know. Now God don't hold you accountable for what you don't know. Okay. But when you do know, then you're held accountable. Yeah. But also though, what I wanted to say to piggyback, even with like with your granny, if God is convicting you about certain things, even if it's hanging out, every time you feel that, just stop going. Yeah. Only because, I'm telling you from experience, because it's like, you be like, okay, I can't even have fun because it's conviction. Yeah. But unless like, and if it makes you uncomfortable, if it's like what they're doing, then don't surround yourself with it. Not because you don't love them, but sometimes we really have to come off, like the Bible says, come off from amongst those things and be separated. It says the Lord. So like that's the Lord saying that. Yeah. Like, baby, separate yourself to save yourself and to possibly even help save them. So, but still be the light. And if you don't do what you do, don't do what you do. Yeah. Because I was just talking to somebody yesterday. She said that she ain't like went on her cousin's night. I think she said like a year. And I'm like, and I know her. She's faithfully. She's like, girl, come get your eyebrows done. I'm finna go. Or makeup, or whatever she was going for. But like that was a thing of like her living, you know. But then when you do choose Christ, stuff starts to fall off naturally. Like you don't gotta convict somebody. Like literally, when somebody gets saved, I'm like, oh God, you finna do a new thing. I already know. Like start convicting wherever he feels the need is first. Like whatever that need is, and it just happens. Like we don't have to convict anybody. We don't have to make nobody feel bad about the sin. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I make sure that I don't do that.
God does
it
that.
was a point that I was doing the same stuff that you're doing, so I can't say nothing. But if he pulled me out of that, look at what he can do.
Now, if he leads you to say something, say something.
Yeah, of course.
What you do, like you get whooped, baby. It's like, okay. Of course. But you be like, God, now you done separated me. Why can't you do the same for them? But you want me to say, but in today's time, I think our generation is more eager for God.
Yeah, I've been noticing that.
And you know the ones who are just portraying it, but you know the ones who are sincere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just want to make sure I'm sincere.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't care about nobody else, baby. But this is an individual walk.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go, I still got to go for myself.
Mm-hmm.
If that's going to church, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I can really tell, like, our generation is going back to the source. And I'm just happy to see so many people want to go, like, look to God. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people saying so many negative things about it, but at the end of the day, the fact that they even looking in that direction, that speaks volume, because they wasn't once looking there. I know that sometimes in my life, baby, I wasn't looking. I'm like, I want to do what I want to do. Hello, I want to, especially being in church, baby. Growing up in the church, please,
really not for the
you can't do what you want to do when you got a calling on your life. You can't.
And that was the thing that I was really like scared about too. Growing up in church, it was like, dang, like I'm not gonna be able to really do what I want to do. But it's funny because I'm doing exactly what I want to do. And
because he still give you the desire, and that's Bible.
Yes, like I really, it is crazy because I'm literally living out my dreams. Like it's not how I thought. Like in my mind, I had my life planned out. Like straight out of high school, I was gonna be all on TV. Like everybody was going.
Girl,
to
say
but
what?
It did not happen like that. But it's still happening.
I said magazine covers. I done named every magazine, and watch. It's still, I would still believe God that it's going to happen. But I believe Him so and trust Him so much. Like when we do His will, we can ask what we will. You know what I'm saying? Like. Because He aligns it with His will for us.
Exactly.
Meaning He blesses us with the desires of our hearts because we're being obedient to what He's asking us to do.
I just made a post.
Now it don't mean He gonna do it tomorrow.
Right.
But can you stay the course? Like how long can you trust Him? How long can we wait and just thank Him? Even like that's the key. So it's like I can't afford to go back. I can't. Like I don't want. Generally, I don't want to. I don't have a desire. Like I know. Like one thing with me, for example, is people always be shocked because like I don't drink and smoke. I never had a desire, and I grew up around my family. I love my family. OG, stand up if you watch this. I love y'all, but not all of y'all, baby. But baby, some of y'all with that liquor, I don't want to look like, sound like. You hear me? Yeah. That weed, my God, no, thank you. First of all, I can't stand the smell. I don't know how people do it.
I'm at that point now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to, like I said, all of that. But
I was gonna say that don't ever be ashamed of where you came from. That's a testimony. Like yes, I used to smoke weed. And I think sometimes people be lying too when they say like being in sin wasn't fun. I'm never gonna say like sometimes like being out it wasn't fun. Because that's a lie. I'm going to lie. Because it was fun.
It was.
But now my desires have changed. And now that is not no longer, that's not fun to me. Okay, because when I was in that, I was dying slowly. Like that's what people are failing to realize about the separation of being realistic here. Because sometimes when you in sin, you do have fun. You go out, you know, like you can have fun moments. But then when you come back to reality, what is that? Right. Am I alive? You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you get in the word, you understand how that is not edifying to your soul. So that's the difference. So like, and I love my family, but like watching it, baby, I don't just drink. Actually, I see them. Okay. Somebody ought to be able to think now. I want my liver. No, for real. Like, because my God, like, how you looking? It ain't for me. Like, and I'm just saying. That's just me though, and I thank God that I haven't had the desire. Because who knows where I would be if I drank alcohol. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be alcoholic. Like so God protected me from things I don't question and I don't have a desire to try to tamper with something He's clearly keeping me from. That's just me. So I think sometimes we mess up because we be like, oh, let me go try to let me go try to play with that. And now you look in the hospital. Now you sitting in the AA meeting. For real, you can't keep your child. You know what I'm saying? Or you somewhere struggling on drugs. Somebody laced you. Like, you just never know what God is protecting you from. So thank Him for bringing you out when He did. And that's just that's the growth that people like one day will experience, and I pray they one day experience. Don't be ashamed, baby. You use it. Yes, I do smoke weed. I thank God He delivered me because for real. Because somebody needs to hear that. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, somebody needs to hear that testimony, so then they know, like, okay. She smoked. And look where she at. I can make it. You know what I'm saying? Like God ain't forgot about me, or He don't want to not hear from me. Because that's a lot of the things about sin. Like people sin so much, they be like, God don't want to hear from me. And my grandpa say something every Sunday, not literally every Sunday, but I promise when he get up and preach, he be like, if God can save me, He can save anybody. And I think the drug dealers need to hear that. Not saying my granddaddy was no drug dealer, but I'm just saying, you know, like all the people who do rough stuff, they need to hear that. Like, okay, if God can save him,
yeah.
he can save anybody. So I wonder what because that messes with your imagination. Like, oh, he must have done this some stuff. So let me, so like, let me try for myself. And like, I just think in today's time, people are so quick to give up. I just want people to fight. I just want and that's why I invited you on, because your stories that you do have, and I know like when we do talk and stuff, it's always, we have great conversations all the time, but like, it's always amazing to see the growth, like, because we wasn't always here. Like, literally last year we were a whole nother person.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, and we only January. Well, February now.
The second
February
day.
2nd.
Yes.
So like, like, we've grown. We've shown a lot. We've gone through like a lot of, maybe we've done been in the oven. I know I done been in the oven a few times. I don't know about you, but because I feel like I'm back in it now. But like, you go back and so it's like, to be able to now sit down and have this conversation is just like, wow. Yeah. Like, this ain't no joke. Okay, God, like, you did your big one. Like, yes. I feel better. Like,
a lot better.
Yes.
Like, just in a peaceful state. Like, just, I don't know, just like light. Yeah. And it's like, compared to before, it was like I was always just irritated about something. I wanted to be bothered, like plotting on how I can quit, when I'm gonna quit my job. But now it's like, good morning. Hello. Yes. Like, it's just so light.
That's trusting him. That's really like, God, you know what? No matter what, I trust you in my life. I know that you have a purpose and a plan for me. So even though it's not exactly what I want, I'm going to thank God for this job. I'm going to thank God for this situation.
And that's how I was when I came back from Texas. It was like, I moved. I did not want to come back home.
I remember.
I'd do anything to not come back. But then I ended up, I was going on like a 7-day fast or something like that, because I was trying to get insurance. I was trying to get that insurance. But it was like, once that fast ended, that's when I came back home. And it was like, I needed that. I needed to do that, because had I stayed there, who knows where I would have been, and that's like no shade to nobody, but it's just the truth. Like, I already moved out there. I knew I wasn't supposed to move, but it was like, this is a time for me to start over, to be independent. It's like, I want to go. Like, who knows if I'm going to get this chance again. I want to go, but I wasn't supposed to go. And that's why I came back home. And when I came back, it was like, I was content. I don't care about the snow. It could be snowing and raining at the same time. I wouldn't care. I had an air mattress. Kept getting hoes, patch it back up. I'm staying in this air mattress until I get a bed. It was like, I was just so content, and I'm still content, and I'm thankful to be in that place now. So it's a change for sure.
What? Like, and that just, it goes back to get like living with God, living for God, living with God. It's peaceful, and when people be looking like, how are you still, baby? That you not gonna understand until you get your life to God. Like, I don't know how else to explain it to you, but God, like literally. So when people like, and it's like the older we get, you know how you hear them church sayings? Baby, now I'm crying on the hill.
I swear. Yes. Understand by. I do understand.
Actually, I do.
Like, how important it is to have like a village for real people who gonna pray and intercede for you. Like, even just, I think it was last week or the week before, like, I even had to call your mom to like, look, I don't feel God right now. I something going on. I need you to pray for me. And she did not hesitate. It was like, I had like 3 different people praying for me, and it was crazy, because even with me feeling like I don't hear God or I don't feel God, and me praying like, God, please give me some kind of sign that you're still here, like for 3 different people to be telling me the same thing, and then I'm doing Bible plans before I go to bed, and I read the scripture that just told me the same thing that they told, like, okay, God, No,
I was gonna put you on to the book of Deuteronomy, because it talks about remembering, so like remembering like what God did before. So like, I can't remember exactly where it was, y'all. My camera died, but basically we was talking about, I was going to tell you that, and just about like remembering like all of the things that God did prior. So like, to have faith is not as hard as we make it seem, because he has us go through things for a reason, to remember what he brought us from anyway. So like, even like when we go to the word and we read about Moses, or we read about Daniel, you know what I'm saying? Like, he brings things back to our remembrance for like, that's the same God then, it's the same God now. So like, that's just like in any situation that we go through. So like, I think that's what I was gonna say. But
it fits still.
So when I do think back about things, or like, even if it's like somebody who did something to me, I just remember what God wants me to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just keep choosing to move forward. Because at this point, to me, it's just, if you look back, you done came a long way.
Yeah.
Look forward, you be like, I got a long way to go. But it's like, why go back into all of that? And then why stop? And then you just was like nothing, or you just in the midst of the storm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to keep going, and that's why it's just good. Because that's what I was going to say. God led me to Deuteronomy. To read, and I was like, Deuteronomy, because that's like, to me, that's a random chapter.
Yeah.
Like, what? So, but when I went to my books, I got a study Bible. So, I be putting everybody on, get a study Bible. I got Max Lucado, New International Version. I like him a lot, and it tell you like what the book is about, and it told me about the book of remembering. But then when I started reading, it is about remembering, because God be like, I told you to do this, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm not going to be with you when you go. Because sometimes when we do, we don't obey. He tells us what to do, we don't obey. Yeah. And I talked about this on my last episode, but when we don't obey, and then we be like, okay, God, I'm going to do it. But he like, nah, it's too late. I've been telling you for years, or I've been telling you for months, and you don't do it.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, even like where I am now, I can't be mad because God been telling me to post. He been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like now when he gives you that new chance and opportunity, I bet you I'm jumping on. I'm not getting off actually. Yeah. And it's like riding the bull. I'm finna try to hang on here. I gotta grip his neck. Like I ain't going nowhere. You gonna be messed up. I'm gonna crawl back on that back. Like, cause you just gotta get to that place like when you really want it, and that's just even his relationship, even his. You got like a relationship with him, like we just have to get to that place. So when you get there, I feel like you locked in, honestly, because
right now I'm just focusing on trying to hear him because it's like I guess I'm expecting to hear like audibly, and I'm trying to like keep in the back of my mind like it's not gonna always be audibly, Like I said, it
you gonna read
confirmation.
Something.
Yeah. But I don't know. I be needing that audibly.
I feel that.
No, God, did you tell me to do this?
Because I done moved before, and it wasn't you. I thought it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
But like really, when you stay in His Word, you identify what is God and what's not God. Like that's one thing I can say. How I'm able to identify when God's telling me something and compare it to when it's me. Yeah. Or the enemy trying to. You know what I'm saying? Because the enemy know the word too. Yeah. But you know where God has you going. And a lot of the times we feel attacked because the enemy done got a glimpse. That's all. Yeah. So when he get a glimpse, the test coming. He's coming maybe left hook, right hook. What? Like he ain't playing. Like so when you do get to that place, that's all it is. So like the more we read his word, you know exactly how God sounds. Yeah. Like it ain't no question. And then it's like I feel like everyone hears his voice not differently, but you know, like I feel like it sounds different to everybody. Some people be like it's loud and clear. To me, it'd be like I don't know even how to explain it. I can hear it. It's not like it's clear as day for sure. Like you know exactly. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, let me be obedient. Because I know his voice for sure. If I'm talking too much, when he be like, be quiet. Oh, yeah. Like, so we be like, why you stop talking? Never mind, because I'm scared to say anything else. Never mind. But how was your day or something like that? You know what I'm saying? But so I feel like it's like it's clear. It's no question. It's no confusion. It's no chaos. Like, it's not a trick. He don't trick us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how you know. Yeah. And it's just stay in his word. Yeah. And the more you seek him, and the Bible says that too. Seek him, and he will be found. Like you're gonna find him if you're seeking him. So that's even fasting more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like God, I want to be able to know your voice exactly. I don't want to question nothing. If you tell me to jump down them stairs, I know it was you. So I remember this one preacher, for example. He got on stage. He was like, God told me to do a back. No, it was a woman. She said, God told me to put on shorts under my dress. And she was out on stage and she was like, God told me to randomly do a backflip or a cartwheel or something. And one of the men in the audience came up like, I believe. Yeah, I said, I told God if you're so real, make her do a cartwheel. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it'd be like that unexpected. That's crazy. Ain't that random? Yeah. Like what? Put on some shorts. But most of us today, will we listen? That's how you know we gotta really like be content with it, like and that's the key of knowing that. Yeah, wow, for sure. No, because like what she was talking like a cartwheel. Okay, like dang, I'm happy she was a little petite woman. What did she like? You know? So and happy like thank God she was on the stage, but that's just a prime example of that. Yeah. Like you literally gonna be doing some stuff. You're gonna be like, okay, God. Yeah. And too, sometimes when it sounds crazy like that, that's how you know it's God too. Yeah, yeah. Because you ain't gonna do nothing really much where you comfortable. And that's just being honest. You're like you always gonna be stepping out on faith. You're always gonna be you know, like remembering what the word says, how to do. I'm just saying, like, it would just be time together.
Yeah.
So literally, but I really enjoyed talking to you today. Like, this was good. Honestly, this is how we talk all the time, so this ain't really nothing new. This is now it's recorded.
Yeah.
But do you want to say your social medias, or do you just want to put them in the description?
Just put them in the
Okay. Yeah. Praise God. And do you have a YouTube too?
I do, but
I'm gonna put that in the description box. Maybe that's gonna encourage her to go ahead and post on there too. Yes. And I just want to say I love you so much. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
And thank y'all so much for tuning in. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell. And I will see y'all next Wednesday.